And the question that we have for each of you is, and I need you to be specific, because early on we talked about accountability, we talked about issues, we talked about don't make promises you can't keep. So at this point, I need to be very specific regarding this question, and that is to name 2 key issues that are affecting the fraternity at this time, and your plan to improve said issue and the projected cost of that implementation.
Things that we're going to have to do. We're going to have to do a better job of communicating what are the real issues, what are the brothers' concerns. I think we've not done such a good job. The answers are there, and whether or not we agree or disagree about how to get there is another issue, but we have to be able to communicate. So I immediately want to improve our level of communication. I immediately want to make sure that we are moving into an area of modern technology where the internet can help us communicate, that we disseminate information down from the international level to our district levels. And so that would cost some initial money in assessing how we communicate. I think that no matter how many times it takes for brothers to understand our internal makeup, our internal structure, we have to do a better job of communicating who we really are. The second thing is that this campaign to me is about back to the basics. We have to realize that Omega is an organization of friends. We're an organization of brothers, and there's a common thread that passes through us. And so as being friends, we got to start acting like that. And that doesn't take anything. That doesn't cost anything to be more fraternal, to be more friendly. And so leadership is going to have to demonstrate that. I take for granted that we're going to clean up whatever problems that we have from a functional or managerial standpoint. I'm a corporate lawyer of almost 25 years, so organizing and being straightforward and having transparency is a gimme to me. But the thing that doesn't cost us money is how we act, how we treat each other, how we feel about each other, the image that we project to the world. That takes sweat equity. That takes a commitment from the brotherhood. That takes leadership doing whatever it takes to establish that Omega men are back. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're making a difference in our lives, in our children's lives. We're making a difference in our communities.
Reports to everything else that comes out. We have to do that assessment. In Birmingham, you voted to have a management assessment of how this fraternity is operating. You still don't have the results. Why is that? It's been done, it's been paid for. You should know what it says.
This idea is I have proven facts. The organization takes on the personality of its leader. There's a lot of distrust and ambivalence going on right now. We got to stop it. We got to bring the trust back into the fraternity. First thing with finance. Folks are always talking about what's up with the finances. How come we don't get reports? We get reports, we don't get reports. There's so much misinformation out there. As Grand Keeper of Finance, I came up with a concise, condensed profit and loss statement that the average man in the street can read. Also had the backup documentation for the more astute brothers. I had the quarterly workshops. I had the quarterly conference calls with all the district KFs. They then went back to their chapters and they disseminated the information. There was no question during my term as Grand Keeper of Finance where the money was. I ran on accountability. I said, we don't have money, but vote for me, we'll put some money in the bank. I'm not an accountant, we don't have nothing to count. Everybody laughed, that was a joke at the time. We went from a deficit to a positive.
As I view the question that you have posed to me, to us, which are what are the 2 issues that are the number two issues, what are the 2 issues that you think, I think affect the fraternity and the cost? First of all, I think anything that I'll say to you at this particular juncture is cost neutral, won't cost anything. Because I think, number one, we must have leadership that has the ability to galvanize this fraternity.
Things I see, first of all, is headquarters. You got to get your foundation straight. And Brother Ray, I'm surprised you didn't mention this, so I'm going to go there because I think we share the same point here. And that's this. When you go and you want to do this, that, and the other, you can't help out everybody until you help out your own self first. First, you got to get headquarters straight. There's a lot of misconceptions about what's going on at headquarters or what's not going on. We need to see a copy of the assessment because you can't insert technology. You can't put new business processes in until you know what's there and what's going on. So first, we got to see the assessment.
Fragmentation in the leadership or the leadership coordinating